What's up, everybody? We're back. Or at least I am, anyway. What's up, Will?
Oh, it's just another night.
I know, right? We're having fun with it. Sorry about the delay, everybody. We're coming up off a break, and we're running a little bit of technical test here. But we are back. It's 2020. Hope everybody had a great new year. Will, how was yours?
Oh, it was good. Like I said on the podcast the other night, that my wife has been home with the kids all break, and Saturday she dumped them off on me after I got back from the office. So I got some more gray hair, but other than that, hey,
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, is
It's been
there?
a good break. It's been good because we've had some decent games and some decent wins by the men's and women's basketball teams.
Right? Right? I'm certainly glad to be back. I took a 2-week break and told the guys, I was like, I'm taking a break. We're never going to do that again. But hey, check it out. Inside the Natural State podcast. If you have not subscribed yet, do so. Leave us a 5-star review. You never know. You might get mentioned on the next episode. If Will,
Probably not.
Probably not. But it's worth a shot anyway, right, Will? I mean, you know,
Yes, sure.
just a little bit. Oh, so I went to Saline to the I guess what you would call it, the Salt Bowl for the basketball teams. It's called the Saline County Shootout, and it was the opening of the new Bryant's Hornet Arena or whatever. I made the mistake of calling it a stadium on Facebook. Lucky me. So I gotta tell you, there was a little bit of kink in the system because I think that was the first time they had actually played in the arena. But it was a nice arena.
Well, yeah, and I think with the resurgence of basketball in the state, back in the 80s, basketball was really surging in the state, and then it kind of hit a lull. We went back to football being the most popular. But now it's kind of, with AAU basketball, it's really hitting large and everything, especially in Central Arkansas. That's why everybody asks why they don't have more D1 football players in Central Arkansas. It's because a lot of them are playing basketball.
Right.
So,
I mean, even Contrell Wallace was one of them. He got in that basketball game. But I tell you, I mean, the girls won their game pretty handedly, 55-23. The boys 54-39. They played really well. Both of them did. But like I said, I mean, that was my first high school game and first high school basketball game and probably, well, since I was in high school, actually. So that was been almost 15 years. Good Lord, I'm getting old.
yes, you are.
Oh, my God. Whoo-wee. But, all right, so I got to get your thoughts.
Uh-oh.
We lost by 2 last night.
Mm.
How do we feel about it?
I don't know. So during the game, I was getting all bent out of shape about the referees and everything, and then
Yeah, a little bit.
we had Caleb and Steve telling us to shut up about it.
Yeah, yeah. But that's normal for me, though.
Yeah, well, I don't know. There were several times that I just saw the LSU players travel and there was no call, and that frustrates me, especially on one of the very next plays they call Mace Jones for a push off on offense.
Yeah,
And
I
that
saw
really
that one.
upset me with, 2 travels on the same possession by them that they did not call. But I'm not going to say the referees lost this game because ultimately, if you look, we lost the rebounding battle by 29.
We got out rebounded bad.
It was historically bad. So,
But didn't we expect this though?
Not that bad. So, Andrew Hutchison, who we used to have on the podcast a lot,
Good old
I always
Hutch.
tell you he is a statistician.
Yep.
And he had noticed, or he did some research, and he said there had only been one other game, and it was some like Power 5 type teams that played each other that had been minus 29, and that team had won. It was like a 2-point win on the road, and they had been out rebounded by 29. Other than that game, there was, I think he said, 9 games that teams had been out rebounded close to that amount that had kept it within 9 points.
Right.
But other than that, everything else was 10-plus point losses. So I think having lost the rebounding battle that bad, I think that's just a testament to the way Coach Musselman prepares the team every game and everything for finding ways to exploit the opponent's weaknesses.
Well, and again, I made this point last night in our chat. Reggie Chaney, okay, only played 7 minutes the entire game.
Well, they were all before the technical foul.
Yeah, they were all before the technical foul. And he and I don't understand, but the guys just didn't look like they were in it at all. From beginning to end, it looked like they were mentally they were not there. I mean, you had Reggie Chaney with the technical. Isaiah Joe was just ice cold. He never got rolling. And then you had Mason Jones mouthing at the LSU bench saying, nobody can guard me. However, after he made that statement, I don't think he scored again. Did he? I don't remember him scoring again.
Who, Chaney?
No.
You went past that.
Mason Jones.
After him doing his little talking to LSU's bench, I think he hit a couple of free throws. But other than that, yeah, I think all he had was, I think he was 0 for 5 or 0 for 6. But really, that late in the game, he was tired. I mean, he was winded.
But we knew depth was going to be a problem.
Yes, we did. But I think if you're going to sit there and you're going to talk trash to the other team's bench right after, he hit 2 threes or something like that.
Yeah.
Come on, you've got to come back and try and continue your dominance on the offensive side. But it's like the legs came out from underneath him, and he just gone.
Well, he finished with 24 points. He was 7 for 15 and 6 and 6 from the free throw line. Okay. I don't know what it is about the Pete Maravich Center, but I'm just gonna say it. The refs. Y'all can point fingers and blame me all you want and badmouth me all, but if I'm watching at home from the comfort of my own home on my couch with Katie and my best friend Q, come on, man. If I can see a walk from here, why didn't the ref call it when he was less than a foot from him?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say the refs didn't make it a little advantage to LSU, but I'm also not going to say that we lost the game because of them, because we had chances to extend the lead late in the first half, but that dumb technical happened. They had a quick run to where they were only down, 3 or 4 at the half?
Yeah, we were only down 3. Which should have been 6.
Yeah, really, they should have been.
Or we were up 3.
Yeah, we should have been up by more than 3 or 4, but the team really, after Will Wade took that timeout there in the first half, the team, LSU responded. Arkansas took their foot off their neck. They took their foot off the gas pedal, however you want to put it, and let LSU back in the game. They could have kept their foot on the gas pedal on offense and defense and really could have put that game away in the first half.
Right. I agree. I'm going to scroll back through these comments. We've got 10 people watching us tonight. Lynn Fryer says, I just shared with my buddy. You boys do well. Chris Shaw, buddy from Fort Benning, he says, how's it going from Fort Benning, guys? Hey, man, you guys and over there in Fort Benning and Fort Bragg are in our prayers, man. I hold those guys in high esteem after serving in the military myself. Let's see. Jennifer says, good to see you're still doing a show. Thanks, Jennifer. Justin, who's really come on strong as of late on our team, pretty proud of him, says, regardless of how that game went, the team is good and will learn through the season, but not having Vanover does hurt us down low. And I agree.
Well, yes and no. I think how much I'd have to go look at his stats from when he was at Cal. How much does he really help us when it comes to rebounding and boxing out? He's more of that high wing type player. He likes to play out high, shoot threes. So, and I'm not comparing to this person, but I'm comparing him to physical wise. He's more of that Dirk Nowitzki type player, not the Shaquille O'Neal down low banging with the big guys type.
I guess
player.
I can see that a little bit.
So while he would be great because he is somewhat, I can't say physical presence because, well, he's not very physical. He doesn't. Look
Katie
very
called him
intimidating.
a walking stick because he's about that big around.
Yeah, he is, and hopefully Muss is changing that here in this red shirt off season red shirt season for him. So I don't know. Maybe he could have helped some, but LSU just got some freak athletes down that like to bang down low.
Who's that one?
6'9" guy.
Waterford
Watford
was
guy.
good. You got Skylar Mays. God, who's the other one?
I can't think of the other guy.
But you know who I'm talking about though.
Yeah.
But in order for us to get in the tournament, we have got to win these kind of games. But nobody expect. Now here's the thing: we were a 6.5 point favorite or 6.5 point dog going in,
Yeah.
and we lost by 2.
So you say to get into the tournament, we have to win these games. I don't totally agree with that. So we're sitting at 12-2 now, and
At 10
12
well.
and 2. Shut up. So we're sitting at 12-2. We have 17 games left. We have
Plus,
one
are
non-conference.
you counting the tournament or just regular season?
No, just regular season.
Okay.
We have 17 regular season. We have 16 conference games and one non-conference in the SEC Big 12 game.
Who do we
so,
play in that Big 12 matchup?
TCU, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think if we can get that non-conference win, that puts us at 13-2.
Right.
With 16 conference games to play. If we can hold our own at home, I think we play 9 road, 9 home, right?
I think
something
so.
like that. So if we win our home SEC games, which is a tall order because we have Auburn and Kentucky at home, if we can go 9-0 in conference play, and we can get some of the road wins against the lower tier teams and stay competitive in the other games, that will put us at 12-6, something like that in the conference, and then that would put us. Well, how many non-conference games? Oh, geez, that'd put us like 27-7 or something like that.
I don't see us going.
I don't either, but I'm just hypothetically.
I mean, we're in good shape for
So-
the shape that we're in.
Yeah. So say we do that, but say we lose Kentucky and Auburn at home, in
Which I'm
close
probably
games.
going to guess.
It could happen, but the crowds are going to affect the game. Auburn's a senior-laden team, but Kentucky's not. They're freshmen. But I think,
When has that ever mattered to Coach Cal, though?
well, they lose at Bud Walton too.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, they did get beat by Evansville.
I don't know. That was early season with these freshmen, so they always seem to turn it on. But I think that if we can, say we lose those 2 games, so that's still 9. So that's 9 losses. So that's 25-9, 24-9,
something like that.
that.
That's still well
That's-
above the expectation.
That is last year. I looked at last year's March Madness brackets. That's a 4 or 5 seed.
See, I just don't see us getting
I
seeded
don't
that
either.
high.
But I'm just saying, as
Even
far
if
as
we get in,
record-wise,
Even if we get in, though, you're looking at maybe a 7 to 10 seed range, maybe 11.
if we got that 25-9, it very well could be that 4 or 5 seed. I really don't want a 4 or 5. I'd rather be the 7, the 10. If I'm on the lower end of the seeding, I'd rather be the 7, the 10, or even the 12.
Well, the good news about the tournament is we won't have to lose to North Carolina in the second round at this rate. If the tournament was, tomorrow or
Yeah, if
something,
it's tomorrow.
Now they could turn it around and actually get in, but at the same time, that loss to Georgia Tech just did not help them at all.
No, it didn't. Not at all.
We beat Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech beats North Carolina, and then they hung around with Duke for a little bit.
Yeah. So hopefully that means that, hopefully North Carolina not North Carolina, but Georgia Tech can beat some more of the upper tier teams in the ACC. Thing is, ACC's really down this year.
Well,
Like,
so is the SEC for that matter.
Yeah, but the SEC's usually down every year except for a couple of years here and there. The ACC's usually strong year in, year out. This year, there's like 2 teams. You got Duke and I mean, Virginia, I guess. They're really the
Yeah.
two teams in the ACC. I mean, you really don't have anyone else in that conference. That's no, Florida State. I'm sorry. They're the other.
I
good
forgot
team.
about them.
So maybe Georgia Tech can get us some more wins, get some wins to help boost our resume, make that, because I think right now that win against them is like a quadrant 3 win. So if they can get some more conference wins, then I think we can get them to that quadrant 2 or even that quadrant 1. It'd be hard to get them to quadrant 1, but I think you can get them to quadrant 2. And that would help our resume as well. And get Indiana to beat some teams as well in the Big Ten, and all of a sudden our resume's not looking so bad for non-conference.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you also got to think we went into Assembly Hall and won there too. So.
Yeah, that's what's, if you can go on the road there and win, and if they can beat some teams like Michigan and Ohio State and Wisconsin at home, then that's going to help our resume with going in there and winning.
True. See, Josh Wilbank says they were not in the game. They just looked lost last night. Chris Shaw is still asking, do we have merchandise yet?
Well, here's the thing.
That's my line.
Yeah, I know. So the lady that does my that I'm working with to get apparel done, her machine broke right before Christmas, and she had all these Christmas orders to do.
Yikes.
So that she got real stressed and everything, but hey, she's back. She's caught up. She's got a new machine, and I'm about to hit her up. Like, I just made you that shirt the other day you didn't like, but that's okay.
Man, okay,
hey.
let me tell these people about this shirt. Do we still have it somewhere? Or did Steve take it with him last night?
I think he took it to.
Now I'm all for wearing natural state and showing off the logo. These polos are great. I like these. But Will comes in with this black shirt, and I'm going, okay, black looks good. I like it. I unfold it, hold it up. The logo is straight chrome. It is shiny. It looks like something I can't even describe what it.
It's. Yeah, you can't say that. I can't say that either.
No, I can't either. But I wish we still had a picture. Steve, if you're watching, post a picture of that shirt so these guys can see it.
Hey, I
gotta ask, and I'm gonna ask this. So, what the heck were you thinking making a shirt like that?
Well, I mean, it happens, but you got to experiment every once in a while. But
yeah, don't experiment like that no more.
Well, and I was told that it looks better with the logo on the back of the shirt. So hey, that's what I'm gonna get done too. I'm gonna change it up, have a big logo on the back, have a little small logo on the left chest, and it'll look good.
I like that. Dwight Raleigh says, I heard the SEC is the worst league for rebounding, so we still create turnovers, make our threes, and play solid defense, and we should be okay.
I agree, Dwight. So it really depends on how much effort the team's going to give, because like last night, like y'all are saying, and I agree that they just didn't seem like they wanted to be there almost. And when you're on the road, you don't need to be acting like that. You need to get your stuff together and get on it.
Now, I'm not dogging MA at all, okay? Not dogging MA at all. But that's exactly what this team looked like last night.
And that's what, we were talking about on the podcast, that it was in the Texas A&M game. It was almost like some of the old habits have started slowly creeping back in. And I don't know if it's maybe because they got so comfortable, because they thought that, hey, we've got Coach Muss's system now. Now we can start doing some of the stuff we used to. Well, Coach Musselman, he's going to nip it in the bud real fast. So.
Well, we were watching. God, where were we watching? Was that A&M Saturday night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Saturday or Sunday.
So it's either Saturday or Sunday night. We were watching. Like I said, we were watching it at Twin Peaks, and I made the comment that if I was Coach Muss, I'd have them running after the game. They go in, they have their little post game, talk or whatever. Then I'd put them right back up out on the court and make them do wind sprints up down the court.
Nah, I mean, they're college athletes now. Maybe if that was high school and stuff, but these days. I think.
But I mean, that's just me though. You know, you can't have these lackadaisical mistakes. You can't have these mental mistakes. And I get it. It's first year. They're going to dog me. But that's just, I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Just be intelligent about it is my thing.
Intelligent about what?
Their own opinion.
Oh, okay.
Their own opinion. Because have you seen Twitter lately?
Oh, don't get me started.
No, I'm going to.
I can't say anything because I've been there before. I've been that guy. I mean, I remember this is gonna make me look kind of bad, but back in 2016 when Bielema was here and he would go on the road to Auburn and we lose 56-3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, he comes home that Saturday night and Sunday he posts a picture of his front gate of his house where Jen had surprised him with a nice big metal Razorback on his gate
Right.
in front of his house. Well, Mad William went and tweeted at him and said, "You won't be needing to use that gate very long with performances like yesterday." And he blocked me, rightfully so. I mean,
But you had a point.
Yes, I did. I mean, he was only here for another year and a couple months, but...
So Terry Roy's back with us. What's up, T?
Oh, finally. We hadn't heard from him.
We haven't heard from him in a while, but again, we've also, Zach
made us take off for a while.
I did. I needed that. He says, any chance Coach Muss wins more SEC games than Chad Morris? He already has.
I mean, no, he hadn't.
He's 1-0.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
He's won one. Chad Morris never won one. Which, by the way, did you see the Auburn game, the bowl game that they were in? Will? Did you see the Auburn game? The bowl game that Auburn was in?
Oh, who did they play? Minnesota.
I think so.
Yeah, I think I watched part of it, not very much.
The collapse of Bo Nix has begun. I wonder why.
Well,
you know what's sad about that though?
Hold on, let's go back to what you just said. I don't think that had anything to do with Morris.
Why you got to kill my dream? Why you got to why? Why you got to knock me down?
I've read that on Twitter ever since the game.
It's true.
No, it's not. Morris hasn't had anything to do with Bo Nix. Come on now. Let's be real here. And Morris got hired like less than a week before the bowl game.
And you can't tell me that his buddy Gus did not have him on the field and had his hand in that offense at any point. You cannot tell me that never happened.
I don't think so.
Oh, come on.
I think you want that to be true because of how bad Bo Nix was in that game, but I don't think.
After how he played all season, and he did for a true freshman, he played really well.
Auburn fans would say differently.
Compared to what we saw?
Well, come on, they're high schoolers.
They're taking, but again, they're wanting to fire Gus Malzahn after an 8-4 season. Okay.
Yeah.
So Auburn fans are. Let's just put it this way. Auburn fans are like national title or bust at this point. All right. But come on. You cannot, again, I will argue with you all day. And I need JD in here, my old buddy from SEC. I need him in here because he would be able to tell me.
What?
If Chad Morris was actually on the field or not.
Based on what I was reading on Twitter from Auburn fans I guess he was on the field pregame during warships, but he wasn't involved
Warships?
in the game. What did I say? Anyways.
Wait a minute. What's our old saying? The things that happen on live.
Yeah, so.
That's twice you've goofed up tonight.
Well, sometimes.
Knocking the rust off, huh, Will?
Something, because sometimes I was looking out your window and saw some lights flash. So I'm like, what's back there? Because that's just up that hill. I'm like, what's it? UFO or, what's going on?
They're worshiping something out there?
I know. No.
That's funny.
You're going to get me coughing, man.
I know.
Oh,
it happens.
I hadn't got that new Terry.
Come on. I had the giggles last night during the podcast. We about never got started on.
I swear, we waited, 20 minutes because you just kept saying
every time we hit record, I just bust out laughing.
I think I've got And I think I've got about 15 to 20 minutes of us just talking nonsense and you giggling like a little kid.
So much fun though. If you haven't checked out that latest podcast, you need to. It's on all media. What do they call those things nowadays? All streaming
Yeah,
apps or whatever.
Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, but
Google.
if you Apple Podcast listener, leave us a 5-star review, even if it's negative. Tell us where we can improve. But do it. But you got to check out this latest episode. It was a lot of fun to record, and it's probably one of our best episodes yet.
Well, let me just tell you this. So, I've been working behind the scenes.
That's dangerous.
We've got some folks coming on these next several
Excuse me.
podcast episodes. Y'all are going to want to check them out. Go ahead and listen to some of our old ones and laugh at us how goofy we sounded. But we're getting better.
Well, some of us.
Yeah, mainly Steve. Me and Zach are kind of.
Yeah.
But we've got some guys. I just want to say who it is.
Okay.
Hold on.
We'll give them next week's. That's it.
This is how I am though, because like I don't go shopping for my wife for Christmas.
That's why. Why?
Well, hold on. I want to give it to her as soon as I come home.
That's like Katie.
Every time. I got her a remote start system for her car, and I got it in early November.
Yeah.
I was like, here you go. Merry Christmas.
See, it was like Katie. I got a Cowboys jersey. I got an Ezekiel Elliott Cowboy jersey, and didn't even have to unwrap it. She says, "Here, look here. Look what I got you."
Yeah, and I don't know why. I'm just like, I don't want to keep secrets. So if I do get her something for Christmas, it's usually a couple days before. Or I have it shipped to me like right before Christmas, so I can wrap it and put it on the tree and quit thinking about it.
Right. So switching over to football, Coach, the Pit. What do you think about the coaching staff? I mean, I think it's all complete now. At least his on-field, right?
Yeah, all the on-field assistants are complete.
So what do you think?
I don't know which side of the ball I like better, defense or offense. Odom, I really think that even here in year one, we're going to see a marked difference in the fundamentals of our defenders. We're going to see the defensive line holding their edges. They're not going to be losing so much contain. We're going to see our linebackers wrapping up, tackling, assignments, spying on the quarterback, all of that. We're going to see better for that. But defensive backs, Cam Curl received a lot of, I think, uncalled for criticism this year for the way, some of the plays he had or didn't make.
Right.
But I think he was really playing out of position most of the year, trying to make plays because he felt like he had to, because he didn't or he couldn't feel like he could trust all of his teammates, or at least the coverage that the coaches called play-wise.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. And even on the offensive side of the ball, I mean, we went through, in 2 years, what, 8 quarterbacks?
That's crazy. Okay, so let's try and name them. So every quarterback that played a snap, not just started.
Okay, so you got Ty Story, Cole Kelly, and I wish I had a list just to see if I could get them right. You got Ty Story, Cole Kelly, Connor Nolan, Dalton Hyatt, John Stephen Jones. He played a couple snaps last season.
Hyatt did?
Hyatt played a couple snaps last season. It was 1 or 2, but he played. All right. So there's 5. KJ Jefferson, Ben Hicks, Nick Starkel. Who am I missing? There's 8 of them. There's 8 of them right there. Jack Lindsey.
Lindsey. 9.
There's 9. There was 9.
I remember 9 was
2 years we had 9 quarterbacks. What in the world?
Terry Roy said everyone on the football team got the shaft as far as coaching. I really think that the staff did a disservice to the players because of the way they treated them when they first came in.
Yeah.
So I
When
think
you
it just
come in
goes
and
back
you
to
and,
that.
and have you heard the stories since he's left and that staff is gone? The stories that are starting to come out about that coaching staff? Have you heard some?
I have, but I don't. Of course, we don't want to hash them out here
No,
on
but
air.
but that just goes to show where the mentality surrounding this team was. They never ever bought in.
I mean, can you blame them?
That first year? No.
Or the second year? Because after the first year, so what do the coaches do to make changes to make the players believe in them?
Not a thing. And I think and again, they may be good coaches. They may be, but they're not SEC calibers. They are nowhere near SEC caliber, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Well, I say if they're a good coach, then they're SEC caliber.
Now, Step
I don't-
is the only one retained from the previous
He's
staff.
a good recruiter. I'm not sold on his coaching.
I am based on the. Hold on.
Oh no.
Hold on.
No.
Based on the I just lost the word.
Traylon Burks, you can't say that he's a good coach because of Traylon Burks. Traylon Burks is a freak of nature athletically. Makes most of his plays based on that. You look and you go watch film. The route running for receivers is horrible. I mean, yeah, you can
Here-
watch both years.
And again, these may be non-factors. But the first season, Jordan Jones had 123 yards in a game. And then all of a sudden, he just disappears as he's on the bench. I saw it on Twitter. He put it on Twitter the other day.
Yeah, and then TJ Hammond said, "Yeah, I feel that way too."
I'd love to know what was. I mean, what was the mindset? And even Terry says I've got the real stories, and I've wanted to pick his brain.
Yeah, but I think that Terry has enough respect for Devwall to not be able to, or to not come on here and tell us the real stories.
No,
He might tell us off air, but I don't think.
but
he
now
will.
I think now that you've got some of these guys that were under Bielema, that were under Morris, that are graduating. I think those stories. The more these guys leave the program, and the more progress this program makes under Pittman, the more stories and the more ways that this coach, the previous regime, just like it was with Bielema, because I mean, look at it. All right, you've had 4 coaches in the SEC fired. Okay, Chad Morris was first, then it was Ole Miss, then it was Missouri, and then it was Mississippi State.
Boy, I'm so glad Missouri fired their coach.
I know he's our new D coordinator. I couldn't be happier. But here's my point I'm trying to make, Will. Out of all those hires, they all said thank you to their previous team. Matt Luke at Ole Miss, Joe Moorhead at Mississippi State, and Barry Odom from Missouri. We haven't heard a dadgum thing, and probably never will, from Chad Morris. He got his $3 million, and he took off.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've now that football season's officially over, and I can gather my thoughts.
So let's go through these coaches that we hired. Defensive line coach LeBlanc, doesn't have a C.
Shut up. I know I mispronounced it on the podcast.
Defensive line from Kentucky. He really helped develop a pretty good defensive line there. So I think that's a good hire. He's got defensive prowess in the SEC. You got linebackers, Ryan Rhodes, head coach from Hutchinson Community College. I don't know much about him except he did pretty good as a head coach there at Hutchinson. And he's got it in there at JUCO. Secondary, I'm hoping that that's kind of Odom's specialty on defense because I'm kind of wondering how come we hired this Carter kid as defensive backs coach because
Well, here's the thing, Will. We're not going to know anything, absolutely anything, until fall camp. Everybody says, oh, we'll see it during spring. No, we won't. It's all watered down during the spring. They're just trying to knock the rust off and get in shape and get these players on campus and everything else. You're not going to see anything until fall. Absolutely anything.
I will say that we did great, not only with the coordinator hires, but the special teams coach, Scott Fountain.
Mm-hmm. That's
I
gonna
think
be
he's
a diamond in
I
the rough.
think he's coached. It's not a diamond in the rough. It's a flat diamond. It's you going to Sissy's Log Cabin and buying a $10,000 diamond ring, because he's coached in 3 or 4 national championships. He was
I outside of what the news broke today, and I will still stand by it. But Sam Pittman, hands down, is probably the best hire out of the 4.
I think you can say that Sam Pittman and his staff are probably the best complete hire. But as far as the actual coaching hire, I don't know.
You're going to say Mike Leach at Mississippi State?
Well, I don't know. Maybe, but then
Joe Moorhead went 3-5, 6-7 in the SEC. So did Mike Leach. Mike Leach went 6-7 in the Pac-12
in a rebuilding year. The thing about Washington State, they may be quite possibly the worst Division I Power 5 school as far as football and what they put into it resources wise.
Yeah, well, okay, I can agree with that.
And Texas Tech, not quite that level, but they're down there too. They do not, I mean, they put some money into it, just enough to keep it from losing money.
Right.
But they're not even Mississippi State in level whenever it comes to the investment into a football program. The SEC is a different level when it comes to putting money into football programs and everything. So he's going to be on a whole different level whenever it comes to the access to funds he has for staff. For I think he was probably only paying like maybe $3.5 million for his whole staff at Washington State. Arkansas is paying a hair over $5 million.
Yeah, but looking at it on paper, dude, it is totally worth it.
It is if they give us wins. What I'm saying is, if he's able to go to Washington State, a program that perennially 4-3-2 type win seasons, and turn that around, spend 8 years there, and he was over 500 as their coach. That is an impressive resume. I don't care who your opponents are as far as a Division I team, because look at Arkansas. 2 consecutive years of 2-10. Horrible seasons.
Muss has got a better record in 1 year.
Well, it's a funny joke, but you can't compare.
I know.
But, so, I mean, I think that there's a very good chance that Leach is the best hire as far as a head coach goes, because I think that he is a smart enough coach to adapt to the style of play that's needed to win in the SEC. Even if he does like throwing it 50 times and only running it 15 to 20, but his screen game is an extension of the run game, even though it counts as passing.
Well, but even still, I mean, the Egg Bowl is going to be fun.
Oh,
the Egg Bowl is going to be hilarious.
I told that to my coworker today. I said the week leading up to the Egg Bowl is going to be the most fun week, excuse me, of interviews.
I hope I get to go this year, man.
To the Egg Bowl?
No, to the SEC Media Days.
We got to get passes. Hey, I'll look into that. But I just tell you, I think it really
Oh dear. What?
Sorry. I was reading the towel on your stove. It says eHarmony matched me up with Jose Cuervo.
Oh yeah.
That's horrible.
That's Katie's favorite towel.
Oh, well.
No,
okay.
but wrapping up, because we're reaching the end of the show, but wrapping up, we're not going to know anything about this Razorback football team until fall camp. I'm sorry. I'm just, that based on the last couple of years from me watching spring practice, you're just not going to see anything. And everybody that says, oh, we're national titles and this, and we're going to win this bowl game, and you're basing it off of spring practice. All that is getting their bodies ready for fall and for summer workouts. I mean,
I don't put anything into spring ball, and hey, remember the spring games here in Little Rock. So no football game there this year, is there?
No, Missouri is going to be at Arrowhead this year.
At Arrowhead, yeah. So spring games in Little Rock this year. So hopefully there's some good weather and it'll be a decent turnout. Because 2 years ago,
2 years ago there were 7,000
sleeting
people.
and stuff and crazy. But I wanted to just tell y'all this. I know you're watching us on Facebook, maybe a couple people are on YouTube or Periscope, but
Woohoo!
yeah, but subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got some things that we're working on here really soon
I'm excited.
that we're going to be publishing on YouTube, and we may or may not be putting on Facebook, but we really want to grow that YouTube channel because we're going to be putting some content out that's not these live shows. So subscribe to the page.
Can I give them just a tiny hint? I'm not going to name anything. I'm just going to give it an equivalent to.
You better not give it away, boy.
No, it's equivalent to watching an ESPN 30 for 30, but much, much better.
I don't know about much better because that's a heck of a team that puts those shows together. But
okay, for the I'm trying to protect my amateur status here.
Yeah, for us beginning media type, yeah, it'll be to the our level of 30 for 30 or whatever.
Right? It's exciting. I love it.
It'll be fun. like you like to say about the whole John Oliver thing. Natural State investigates.
Right? But don't even get me started on that one. Oh boy.
Nothing to do with investigating though. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's not much on there right now. We are streaming to it now in the last couple of shows, but really haven't pushed that out there much. But yeah, go ahead and subscribe to it. Just look us up on YouTube. We have to have a certain amount of subscribers before we can go, youtube.com/Natural State Sports. We have to have like 100 subscribers to be able to do that. So subscribe to our channel. Most everybody uses YouTube these days, so everybody that goes and watch, Pig Trail Nation and everything from KARK, go ahead and subscribe to ours.
If you're on Twitter, follow us on Twitter. Will, what's your Twitter handle?
You don't want to follow my personal one. Follow Natural State Sports, though, because I run that one, too. So
you can follow me, Razorback Zach1, and Steve, my co-host on the podcast, is at High Flying Hogs. Oh, Will, not a bad show coming back.
No, not much going on. You got basketball, really. You got about a month before baseball.
Boy, I'm excited.
I am too. I think it's the weekend of
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
Opening day is Valentine's Day. This Friday, I know not everybody is a what do they call it, fanatic, but Arkansas's got their first gymnastics meet. Katie's gonna be making me sit through it.
What are you talking about? You tell me and Steve the nights we're recording podcasts. I can't wait to watch that gymnastics meet.
Don't you go lying on me like that.
I am not lying. Steve will back me up on that.
Well, I mean, I don't. It's like recruiting. I don't know jack boogie about recruiting. I don't know jack boogie about gymnastics. Well, they get swimsuits jumping around and flipping and hopping, and I'm afraid one of them's gonna hurt themselves.
Okay, now you're thinking too much. Let's get back to simple football.
Run it up the middle. Oh, wait. No, my name's not Houston Nutt. Sorry.
Oh. Or Gus Malzahn.
Wow. All right. That's going to do it for this week. He's Will. I'm Zach. You've been watching Natural State Sports Live. First show from 2020. Hope everybody has a good night. We'll see you later, everybody.